Hi everybody, this is Michael Moore coming at you from KiaiKick. I got a review for you today. We got Operation Mekong. Now, Operation Mekong is an action movie from China that basically has to do with the group of police officers who are charged with trying to destroy a drug cartel located in the Golden Triangle. Now, the Golden Triangle is a location situated in Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos. Basically, that's the Golden Triangle. Basically, it's a safe haven for criminals and crooks, and basically where major drugs flow along the Mekong River into China from that area. Now, the inciting incident that occurs here, and I have to say, this is based on a true story. So the inciting incidents are the bodies of 13 Chinese nationals washes up on shore. Now, this is the incident that kicks everything off. There's two characters that this movie mainly revolves around. One of them is named Gao Gong, and the other one is named by Quifu. Gao Gong is basically the typical rogue cop who breaks all the rules but gets the job done, who makes his chief constantly go, oh god, that guy again. But he works and he gets the job done, so we've got to use him because there's literally nobody else who can do the job. So anyway, he forms a task force. And then there's the guy who joins him, the new guy in his group, is named Quifu, played by Eddie Peng, who basically is, another stereotypical cop. He's the one who's been undercover for just a little bit longer than he probably should have been. And basically both guys together are going to lead this group, and they're going to bring down this cartel led by this guy named Now Carr, who's the head of this organization they need to bring down. Now, the thing is, they can't just kill the guy, they have to capture him, because he was basically not the head of the snake, but he's kind of connected to the head of the snake. And so there's a series of guys that the group has to get in order to get to Now Carr. So it's basically like a video game. They got to catch the next guy to reach the next level, to get to the next guy, to get to the next guy, to get to the next guy, to eventually reach Now Carr, and maybe the big bad guys up above him that they never actually mention in the movie at any point in time. You just know there's a guy above him that they've got to get. It's basically the gist of the film. Now, as to the movie itself, it's based on a true story, so there are certain restrictions in cinema according to what they can do. Now, the movie feels like it wants to be big, and you could tell that it really probably needed to be bigger. It needed to be something Rambo, especially when you get to the second half of the movie. It really wants to be a bigger movie than what it is. And when you're based on a true story, it really hampers what you're allowed to do, how far you can go with certain things and not go to movie cinema. Now, as I say, there are some good parts in the movie. There is a really great extraction where the group has to go in to this city where there's no guns allowed, and they have to extract this one guy they've been looking for. And that's a really good set piece, and it really works out really well. It's got some really tense moments, especially during the actual extraction itself. The moment that starts, things really kick up a notch. Unfortunately, at that point, the movie kind of brings things down a little bit before it ratchets back up, because we've got to do some character building. Another good set piece would be the mall fight. There's a great mall fight, a gunfight between a group of bad guys over a situation that kind of goes south really fast, and it involves a lot of some pretty good set pieces there. Nothing amazing, just well done. And that's what you can say for a lot of this movie. The action pieces are well done, they're well shot, but nothing you haven't really seen before in other movies, and even seen more excitingly in other films. But it's not done badly. Now, there is one thing I would like to point out before I go any further with this review, and that is there is a subject matter that the movie does get into. It doesn't really harp on it, but it's there, and that are child soldiers. Now Carr and a lot of the bad guys use child soldiers. They use them as suicide bombers in the movie. They also use them to actually shoot people. And in this movie, these children actually get shot also. And it's kind of a jarring thing. Now, for some of you, maybe that doesn't bother you as much. It kind of bothered me just a little bit as I watched the film. And it is reflected in one of the characters. The main characters, Gao Gong, actually is affected by this as well. And there's one great scene, I won't spoil it for you, where he basically decides to kind of sacrifice a bit of his soul to save the soul of one of his teammates. And that was a really well done scene. It's a really fast scene, but the way it's presented is really cool in the way they did it. Everything else, I mean, the finale is fun and terrific in its own way. It has some great moments. It's very Rambo-ish toward the end, but at the same time, it's still kind of holding back. It's one of those scenes that almost begs to go over the top, go full Rambo, full missing in action kind of stuff, and it never quite goes there. You want it to go there, but it never quite gets there. But as for that, I mean, everything is well shot. There's not a lot of martial arts in there. There's a couple of good scenes that flow fairly well, and the fighting is kept very practical, very realistic, and that was fine. It was very well done, very awesome, actually, in regards to the rest of the film. The performances are pretty good. Gao Gong, the actor who plays him, his name is escaping me at this moment. He does a really good job. Eddie Peng, who came to my attention first in the movie, the Tai Chi movies, Tai Chi Hero and Tai Chi Zero, as one of the bad guys. It does a very good job here as as Kui Fu, the guy who's the undercover police officer, and he does a fairly good job. I mean, the cinematography in this movie is beautiful. And I go to the cinematography, you think I just left the other two actors. Well, the thing is, the other members of their team, who the movie revolves around, don't get much screen time. I mean, Gao Gong and Kui Fu are the guys that the movie stays with the most, and they're the only ones you get to know much about. The other characters are very stereotypical police officers. And if you know these kind of movies, there's going to be a lot of gunfights, a lot of killings, a lot of sacrifices among the police officers. It's a very well put together movie from a standpoint of the drama of what's going on, but it's an action movie, which this really kind of purports itself to be as an action thriller. There wasn't much that was thrilling about it, and there wasn't a lot of, and the action was just kind of on the screen. And I don't want to say dull, but I'm almost tempted to say it. But the movie is, it's not a bad film. It's just average. And I think my grade is going to reflect that. So what grade I want to give it on a scale of 1 to 10, KiaiKick.com is going to give this film a solid 5.